in the clockwise or anti-clockwise. So ஒரு simple idea. Short circuit line எடுத்துங்க, அதனுடைய nature வந்து என்னது? When ZL is equal to 0, Zn is equal to J is not tan beta. What is the meaning of this one? See, when Y is equal to L, you can calculate the impedance anywhere. You can also calculate the impedance here. So that means what? If you decrease the length, okay, see, finally your Z is equal to only of what? Imaginary. Once if it is imaginary, what is the meaning of this one? If impedance is imaginary, then definitely resistance part is 0. Then it consists of some value, J Z naught tan beta L. Then anyway, you know Z naught, then you will normalize that, no problem. Then tan beta L is there. What will happen to beta L? If you increase the length, okay, what is happening? As you are moving from year to year, what you are increasing actually? You are increasing the L. Okay, it's okay, indirectly you are increasing the L, because you can have smaller section also. When it is smaller, you will be here. When L is larger, you are moving in this direction. If L is larger, you are moving in this direction. When you increase the L, what you are increasing? You are increasing X. Okay, so when you are increasing the L, when L is getting increased, in which direction you are moving? When L is increasing, you are moving from load to source. You are moving from load to source. Okay, or otherwise, instead of L, you can write this as Y is equal to L, because Y only L, because instead of Y only you are substituting L. If you increase Y, that means you are increasing L. If you are increasing L, means what? You are moving from, very clearly from, you are moving from load to source. You are moving from load to source. Okay, so when you are moving from load to source, your reactance is increasing. Anyway, your resistance is 0. Then you go to the Smith chart, you observe you are on R is equal to 0, sir. You are here. Then your reactance has to increase. Okay, when you are very near to load, your reactance is 0, because once if L is 0, tan beta L is 0. Once again, if you increase the L, your reactance has to increase. So how your reactance will get increased? Here reactance is 0. Here reactance will be little bit high like this. If you go along this path, what will happen? Your reactance will increase, because once if you reach here, your reactance is 1. Whenever you are in between, then your reactance will be in between X is equal to 0 and 1. You will get the line like this. Once if you go here, your reactance will be in between 1 to infinite. Your reactance will be between 1 to infinite. So that means what is the conclusion? You have to, when you go from load to source, in which direction you have to move in the Smith chart? In Smith chart, you have to move in the clockwise direction. In Smith chart, move in clockwise direction. When you go from load to source, you move from which direction? Clockwise. You move in the clockwise direction. Now suppose if you go in the opposite way, definitely you have to move in the anti-clockwise direction. That also I can give you as an example. Okay, say if you have open circuit line, you know, when you have open circuit line, ZL is equal to infinite, and your Zin depend on what, sir? Minus J Z naught cot beta L. Okay, cot beta L. Now again, what will happen? Anybody tell me? This is of negative. Okay, you are in negative value. That's okay. When you increase L, what happened to Zin? Either what is the contribution provided by got beta L? When L is 0, okay, when you increase the L, that means how will you analyze? When L is 0, what is the value when L is 0? Or when you increase L, what happens? Either what is the nature of cot beta L? That will increase or decrease, because cot beta L can be written as 1 by tan beta L. Okay, 1 by tan beta L. Then the contribution of this value, as you increase the L, the contribution of this value decreases. That means what? this Z in decreases negatively. That means what? This Z in decreases negatively. Okay, and again, okay, so this Z in decreases negatively. Z in decreases negatively. Okay, Z in decreases. When you increase L, Z in decreases negatively. Then what will happen when you move in a opposite direction? When you move in a opposite direction, what will happen? Once if you move in a opposite direction, okay, see, if it is in a opposite direction, if you instead of, okay, when you go from year to year, then Z in decreases negatively. Then if you go from source to load, then Z in will decrease. Okay, Z in will decrease negatively. Okay, when you go from this is of little bit confusing only, but it's okay. When you move from source to load, when you move from source to load, Z in increases negatively. Z in increases negatively. Okay, when you move from source to load, Z in increases negatively. Then we'll see our Z in has to increase negatively. Okay, Z in means what, sir? Here negatives are minus Jx. This is 0 only of minus Jx. Okay, when I move source to load, when I move in this direction from source to load, my Z in, okay, has to increase negatively. Okay, that means what? If this is minus J1, then there should be minus J2, then minus. Okay, so when you go from source to load, then you go to the chart. Okay, you are at R is equal to 0. Okay, then your reactance has to increase negatively. So when here your reactance is 0, when it is here, it is like minus J 0.1, minus J 0.2, then you come like this, then it becomes minus J1, then you come here minus J2, minus J3, then finally you will reach minus J infinite. So what is happening when you are moving from source to load? In which direction you are moving? You are moving in a anti-clockwise direction. You are moving in a anti-clockwise direction. So that is the conclusion. So in Sumit chart, you are moving in Sumit chart, you move in a anti-clockwise direction. That is the idea. When you go from move from source to load, okay, source to load in Sumit chart, move in anti-clockwise direction. In Sumit chart, move in anti-clockwise direction. Now we have come to some conclusion. Okay, see, whenever you go from load to source, you move in a clockwise direction. If it is of opposite nature, then you move in a anti-clockwise direction. Okay, now I'll write down some of the observed points now. Okay, so finally, see, if you are in voltage maxima, from voltage maxima, if you are going to V minimum, voltage maxima, if you are going to V minimum, then once again, if you are going to V maximum, once if you want to go from V maxima to V minimum, maximum is something like open circuit, V minimum is something like short circuit, this is something like short circuit, and V maximum is something like again open circuit. Once if you want to go from open circuit to short circuit, definitely what is the length? Length is lambda by 4. Similarly, if you want to go from V minimum to V maximum, that is lambda by 4. Okay, or otherwise if you want to directly go from V maxima to V maxima, that is simply lambda by 2. That means what? You are on the same point. You started at open circuit. If you travel lambda by 2 distance, then finally you will reach open circuit only. Similarly, if you start from short circuit, if you travel lambda by 2, finally you will reach short circuit only. Okay, that is a simple idea. Okay, so Again, you can also write for other combination also, something like, suppose if this is V minimum, if you want to go to V max, and again V minimum, you travel lambda by 4 here, also lambda by 4. If you want to directly go from here to here, then you travel lambda by 2. Okay, again V minimum is denoted as short circuit, V maximum is denoted as open circuit. This is short circuit. Okay, one simple idea. Okay. Next, again, what is another point? One complete movement on the Smith chart, one complete movement of the Smith chart indicates the movement of lambda by 2. One complete movement means one rotation, sir. One complete movement or one rotation on Smith chart indicates movement of lambda by 2, movement of how much distance you have moved, okay, physically in a transmission line, indicates a movement of lambda by 2. Okay, next, clockwise movement on constant R circle indicate adding of the inductive reactance. Okay, see, whenever you have a constant R circle, see, if you have constant R circle, this is constant R circle. If you are moving in a clockwise direction, definitely you are adding the reactance. If you are moving in the clockwise direction, you are adding the reactance. But that is true for upper portion, because in the lower portion you are getting the negative reactance. Okay. So once if you move in a clockwise direction on the constant R circle, then you are adding a inductive reactance. Okay, you are adding a inductive reactance. Okay, so clockwise movement on constant R circle indicates adding of inductive reactance, adding of inductive reactance. Very important. Traveling from load to source means traveling from load to source means what? Traveling from load to source means movement in clockwise direction. Smith chart. Movement in clockwise direction. Okay, Smith chart movement in clockwise direction. So similarly, traveling from source to load, is movement in a anti-clockwise direction. Movement in anti-clockwise direction. Okay. Next note. Impedance noted on the Smith chart is always normalized. Impedance noted on Smith chart is always normalized. Impedance noted on the Smith chart is always normalized. Suppose if impedance noted at the center of the Smith chart, if impedance noted at, very important, the center of Smith chart, impedance noted at the center of Smith chart, then what is the meaning of that one? Z bar is equal to 1 plus J0, because when you are exactly at the center where R is equal to 1, okay, see, what is the meaning of this one? R is equal to 1, X is equal to 0. R is equal to 1, X is equal to 0. When Z bar is equal to 1, what is the meaning of this one? Z is equal to Z0. When Z is equal to Z0, k is equal to 0, k is equal to 0, and then s is equal to 1, this particular condition is called matching condition. You know, when ZL load impedance is equal to what, sir? Characteristic impedance. That particular condition is called a matching condition. That particular condition is called matching condition. Very important, this condition. So that means what? If you have some impedance, if that impedance is at the center point of the Smith chart, then definitely that is matching with the characteristic impedance of the transmission line. Characteristic impedance of the transmission line. Characteristic impedance of the transmission line. Next, how to calculate the reflection coefficient and VSWR. How to calculate the reflection coefficient and VSWR from the Smith chart. Okay, calculation of reflection coefficient and S. Okay, VSWR. S means what, sir? Voltage standing wave ratio. VSWR. How to calculate reflection coefficient and VSWR. Okay, and okay, wait a bit. Okay, so I will use this slide. Okay, calculation of K and VSWR means yes. Okay, calculation of K and VSWR. How to measure? I'll erase unwanted. Okay, now we'll move from the known condition. Okay, I will move from the known condition. Somebody tell me, if your load impedance is equal to 0 ohm, okay, this is the case 1. If your load impedance is equal to 0 ohm, that is what, sir? Short circuit. When you have a short circuit, what is the reflection coefficient, sir? +1 or -1? Anybody?
You want to know both values, ZL, Z0.
No need of Z0. When ZL is 0, irrespective of Z0, K is -1. ZS means?
Close impedance.
Sir, K is equal to what? ZL minus Z0. ZL plus Z0. When ZL is equal to 0, irrespective of value of Z0, Z0 in the value irrespective of value of Z0, this is always -1. Z0 can or other combination you need to know. You need to know Z0. Here no need to know the Z0. Irrespective of Z0, the reflection coefficient is always -1. Reflection coefficient is always -1. Please always remember, whenever you have a short circuit, definitely the reflection coefficient is going to be either +1 or -1. Either +1 or -1. Okay. Now the reflection coefficient is -1. Then what is the magnitude of the reflection coefficient? That is 1. What is the magnitude of the reflection coefficient? That is 1. So, and again, you take another condition. You take another condition. The condition is, say, to ZL is equal to infinite ohm, which is of open circuit. Now my K is equal to 1, and again magnitude is also 1. Okay, so in both the cases, I am getting reflection coefficient as 1, because if it is short circuit, then also it is 1. If it is open circuit, then also the reflection coefficient is 1. So this K is equal to 1, we have already seen, that is the radius of the larger circle. Yes, sir, anybody? That is the radius of the larger circle. Okay, so again the K is equal to 1 matching with the radius of the circle. That's why what they are telling, when you have short circuit or open circuit, that time only you will get the maximum reflection coefficient. That maximum reflection coefficient is something equal to the radius of the bigger circle. Radius of the bigger circle. Radius of the bigger circle. Now I want to physically measure what is the radius of this circle. In general, I have to know, sir, what is the radius of my circle. First procedure is for K. Now I want to measure what is K. To find out K, first measure the radius of bigger circle. measure radius of bigger circle. What is that, sir? Radius of bigger circle? Actually, we have taken it as r is equal to 1, but in reality, in the graph, it may be of some centimeter. Let it be some centimeter, sir. Okay, some centimeter. Say, for example, the radius of bigger circle is, say, r centimeter. Okay, now we are taking it as r is equal to 1. That means normalized, but in reality, you will have some centimeter. Okay, some centimeter, r centimeter. Now you measure the distance between the center point and your point. Let it be short circuit or open circuit. Yes, sir. Let it be short circuit or open circuit. You measure the distance between your point and the center point. Measure distance between your point and the center point. Your point and the center point. Measure the distance. Now what is the reflection coefficient they are telling? The reflection coefficient magnitude is radius of bigger circle, radius of, I'll write, wait a bit, no space. Okay, so with this concept I will close. Okay, within I think 10 minutes I can complete. Okay, so what they are telling, so the reflection coefficient is, okay, the distance, okay, the distance between point and center point, because point can be anywhere on the Smith chart. Distance between point and the center point. Okay, and in the denominator, radius of the bigger circle. Radius of the bigger circle. யாராவது சொல்லுங்க சார், can k value can be greater than 1 here? First என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னா, you take this radius, other denominatorல போடுங்க. Now you choose point anywhere on the Smith chart. Say, for example, if my point is here, then I have to calculate the distance between this point and center point. That distance only I have to put in the numerator. That distance only I have to put in the numerator. You choose point anywhere on the graph, then already radius of the circle is there. Now, is it possible to get k greater than 1? Anybody?
No, sir.
No. So definitely k has to be less than 1. At maximum, k will be equal to 1. So in our case, what is k, sir? Suppose if it is of open circuit, what is the magnitude? Okay, 1. But from here, how to calculate? Because my point is here and this is my center point. If I measure, what that will be what, sir? R centimeter. Then what is my radius of the circle? That is also r centimeter. Then what is the reflection coefficient? Simply 1. Simply 1. Then next your doubt arises. If this is here, then also 1 is coming. Then how to calculate this -1? It is very simple, because this is the base axis. This is along the positive axis. This is along the negative axis. So it is of 180 degree. Okay. See, what is this one? This is making 180 degree with the base axis. The positive axis is the base axis, and your point is 180 degree with the base axis. Okay, your point is on the left side. So whenever you have a short circuit, magnitude is 1, that is okay. Then angle also has to be measured. So when to measure the angle, because at any point of time, reflection coefficient k is equal to mod k and theta. So mod k only you have measured with this formula. This is mod k only. Mod k only you have measured with this formula. Then how to calculate the angle? See, the angle is angle measured from the positive x-axis. Angle measured from the positive x-axis. Angle measured from the positive x-axis. Now what will happen if suppose if my point is here, then you draw one line here, say yes, sir, say Now I am going to choose my point here. My ZL I am going to choose here, exactly here. Now I'll see what will happen. Say I'll take some realistic value also. Say my ZL is equal to 50 plus J50. My Z0 is equal to 50. Then definitely if I normalize, that will be 1 plus J1. Actually, what will be the reflection coefficient, sir? As per formula, ZL minus Z0 divided by ZL plus Z0. What will happen? 50 plus J50 plus J50 plus 50. So finally, you will get J50 divided by 50 plus J50. Okay. So J divided by and again I think 1 by root 2. Okay, 1 by root 2. Okay, what is the value of 1 by root 2? 0.707. 100.
Kida sir, down 50 plus 50.
J50 sir, ade not simple
Inga,
50. Sir, J50 kidayadu.
J50 sir.
Okay, so
100
see.
100 plus J50 sir.
Okay. 100 plus J50. Yes. Okay. Yeah, mistake is there. Okay, I'll correct. Okay, so yes, calculator யாராவது இருந்தா calculate பண்ணி சொல்லுங்க sir, please. This is J50. This is 100 plus J50. Now first I'll write the magnitude. Magnitude is simply 50 divided by 100 square and 50 square root. What is the angle? Angle is 90 degree minus tan inverse of 50 divided by 100. இது யாராவது கால்குலேட் பண்ணி சொல்லுங்களா சார்? வாட் இஸ் ஆக்சுவல் வேல்யூ, ஃபைனல் வேல்யூ? Definitely that is less than 1. கால்குலேட்டர் ஏதாவது இருந்தா கண்டுபிடிச்சு சொல்லுங்க. Now you will get some value here, some theta here. மெயின் டைம்ல கால்குலேட்டர் இருந்தா போட்டு சொல்லுங்க எனக்கு ஆக்சுவல்